good morning, good morning, good morning. Miss Diane Collins, it's good seeing you this morning out there in Australia, all the way from Aussie land, folks. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Ms. Rose Guerrero, Regional Director from Fresno, California. Good morning. Mr. Chris King, Regional Director from Fresno. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Who do we got here? Ms. Tamara McDonald, excuse me, in San Diego. Good morning. Mr. Dale Ransom, good morning. Wow, Regional Vice President, Ms. Jocelyn Driscoll's on the call this morning. Thank you. Look at the dignitaries. Mr. Julian Lewis, Regional Director, we'll be hearing from him tomorrow morning. Good morning, sir. Ms. Kelly Garcia, good morning. Ms. Castro in Phoenix, Ms. Marcia Carter in Fresno, Ms. Marie, good morning in San Diego area. Frank and Pat Bowman up in Elk Grove, California, a little south of Sacramento. There you go. Let's see who else. Sensational down in Florida. Ms. Tracy Gilmore down in part of the Bakery Organization, Ms. T. Hayes, good morning, dear. Sam Foster down there with TD Jakes Ministries in Dallas, Texas. Mr. Al Randolph's on time today. Woo-hoo-hoo. Miss Anna, Miss Anna in Texas, thank you so much. Mr. Winston Herbert, good morning, sir. I'd like to thank Miss Natalie, thank you so much. Farrar in Vegas. Miss Angelina, good morning. Casey Carter down in San Diego, man. Miss Belinda Batiste, good morning, dear. Mr. Ed Navarro in Fresno, California. Mr. Freddie Sherman, good morning. Miss, Kenny Epperly down in Phoenix, good morning, dear. Thank you for joining. Miss Mary Perez. Boy, you've been on fire since you came back from Lake Tahoe, young lady. Keep going. TJ in Ohio, thank you so much. Miss Zoe Duffy, part of the Bakery Organization. Bill Howard, good seeing you, sir. Love to see you when you get on the call. Mr. Ismail, how you doing, sir? ¿Qué pasó? Then, okay, great, great, great. Miss Melissa Vaughn, good morning. Miss Luana, Regional Director, wow, out of Fresno, California. Miss Joyce Brewer, thank you so much. Miss Gail Wiggins, thank you so much. Mr. Dave Culver, the professor, good morning, sir. Miss Celia up in Woodland, California. Miss Eileen in San Diego with her quiet self. Mr. Reggie, thank you for joining. Miss Darlene Evans, part of the crew, Regional Director out of South Carolina. Good morning. Wow, wow, wow. And Mr. Robinson out of the Bakery Organization. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the call. Thank you all for joining the call this morning. As you know, it's Monday. It's Monday going into the holiday. Remember now, it's a holiday we're going into. I understand. Today's Monday. You got Tuesday, Thursday. I get it. Friday, we'll be right back with oh yeah, we got calls all. Oh yeah, this don't stop nothing. Matter of fact, while you're sitting there having turkey or with family and friends, get them on the call. Let them see what you're talking about, folks. God, don't just go with the family. Hey, get them on the call. Let them see it. Walk around. Let me broadcast all y'all. Let me show y'all something. Wow, what a wonderful way to do that. Anyway, good morning, and everybody. Friday was me. That was for me. Friday happy hour. Thank you for my report card. Those that are on the call know what I'm talking about. See, only leaders show up on Saturday. Friday night was happy hour, was great, but Saturday was Friday night was great, but Saturday was for me. Thank you, leaders. Only leaders show up on there. Thank you for my report card. People say, what report card? Well, you wouldn't know that means you weren't a leader. Go back and watch it. Anyway, hey, we're going to start off into the holiday weekend, into Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for. And let me tell you something about this young lady who we have on our call today. You know, I always go through a little script as I introduce her, but today I'm not going to go through that. I'm going to just talk from my heart, just to let you know how much she means to me. Her husband, Mr. Hussein, her husband's on the call. I can always guarantee his business is flipping, going from station to station to station, the liquor store and all. He always get time for his beautiful wife. Every call she does, and I tell you, I have so much love and respect for him. But this young lady means a lot to me personally as a good friend. Built a great friendship through ACN. That's what ACN is all about. Built long after. There you go. And I got a call yesterday, and I was saying, somebody was calling me yesterday and said, well, who's the guest speaker on tomorrow? And I said, Miss Natasha Ismail. And this lady was so excited. She, oh, she's the teacup lady. So Miss Ismail, you're known as the teacup lady. Let me see if I can find her on here. I'm gonna flip through here. Got to see her face. There you go, the teacup lady. So that was so funny to hear that she's known as the teacup lady. So, you know, she, without further ado, you know, her and her husband flip gas stations. We appreciate them so much, all they do for all the people, no matter whose organization you're in. She is a delight to work with. She's a blessing. She's always got some great comeback and feedback to help anybody in the business. So without further ado, can we give a warm welcome, Miss Dee Dee Sanders? Can we give a warm welcome to the teacup lady, Miss Natasha Ismail? Teacup
Good morning,
lady.
Mr. Thomas. Good morning.
Good morning, teacup lady.
That's really funny.
Good morning.
That's kind of my nickname now. So I love it. It's okay. Anything that people remember and that sticks with them, I'm okay with that. So thank you so much, Mr. Thomas. And I love your look today. I love the little handkerchief, the blue. It's a very pretty color, your favorite color. But I want to thank you for giving me the chance to speak this month. Now, there's still people joining. So Mr. Bree, if you can handle it. So I want to thank you, Mr. Thomas, for even allowing me to speak on the calls, because I know you're super, super, super particular about who you put on these calls. And the fact that you've asked me not just once, but a couple of times it's such a huge honor and privilege. And the first time you asked me, I think I started shaking, like there was something wrong with me, but obviously there wasn't. I was just nervous. But I just want to thank you for everything that you do. Now, everybody on the call, I need you guys to smile because Zoom just updated and I can see everyone's faces at once and I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. It's not just 6 people anymore. I can see like 20 of you at a time. And so Mr. Thomas asked about his report card the other night. And he was probably expecting me to be like the first one to say something. I know he was. And I didn't say anything that day. The reason for that was because I knew that I was going to have a chance on Monday. And also I knew if I spoke on Friday, we were just going to both start crying and it was just going to go haywire from there. So he asked about his report card for his leadership. So I want everyone to think about this for a second. We know that we've even heard Mr. Thomas say before, to whom much is given, much is required. And we've heard that. To whom much is given, much is required. Now, Mr. Thomas is one of those gentlemen that much has been given, but also much has been required. Can we agree on that? The type of leader that, so when we first started, we weren't expecting anything like what we have now. Nothing. Mr. Ransom is laughing because he knows nothing. And, you know, joining the business from the first day that we met at the Starbucks, and this is how it happened. We were at the King's house, and right after a PBR, they were like, "Oh, you guys are going to Vegas? Mr. Thomas lives out there." And I said, "I want to meet him." I was just joking because you guys know how I am, right? You know how I am. And then I say stuff and it actually happens. So be careful what you say. But I was like, I want to meet him. And so they said, okay, we could try to see if he's available and try to see if we could work something out. And I was like, are you serious? I'm going to get to meet an SVP? Like, what? What is happening? So fast forward, we get to Vegas and we like get Mr. Thomas's phone number, all that stuff. And he's like, okay, meet me at this Starbucks on, I think it's, I'm not going to say where it's at, but anyway, so meet me at this Starbucks. We'll go there. I have about 30 minutes. I said, okay, cool. We're getting 30 minutes with somebody that has all these accomplishments. And like, we saw him in the magazines and all this stuff. And we go to meet him and he's wearing like this light pink button-up shirt. It was probably a Tommy Bahama because he loves those shirts. And he had shorts and flip-flops on. He still had a really nice watch though. He still had a really nice ring though. But we were just like, that's him. Like, he seems so cool. Like, he's not in a suit. We were just expecting him to be in a suit all the time. And he wasn't in a suit. And from the moment that we sat down and we started talking to him, he started teaching us and he immediately took us under his wing. And we were there for 2 hours and 45 minutes. And that's how much that should tell you what kind of a leader Mr. Thomas is. So he's much more than a mentor to us now. He's become that father figure to teach us about money and things that our parents didn't or our parents weren't able to teach us simply because they didn't know. They taught us what they knew, but when Mr. Thomas came into our life, he expanded our minds. Do you guys remember that call that he did with Dubai? And he showed like people had gold toilets and gold stairs. And I was like, what is happening? What? And so he expands our minds so much. And we know that once your mind expands with an idea or a vision, it never goes back to its original size. So from the moment that we met him, he's been teaching us what leadership is about. He has so much responsibility. He has so much grit, so much resilience. I have not one time in my whole career here seen him negative, ever. I have never seen him negative. And you can probably agree to that if you know him. So just think about it. Every single time we get to spend time with him, he's teaching us what it is to be a leader. But how many of us are actually taking note of all of those things subconsciously, like what's happening? So the type of leader that he is, when he asked about the report card, there's a lot I can say, and I did my makeup, so I'm not gonna go there because I don't want to cry and mess it up. But he is the definition of leadership. He is the definition of it. He's here all the time on the calls with us. He's doing the things that he tells us to do. He's walking the walk and he's talking the talk. He does everything that an SVP is supposed to do. Now, when we look at him, we don't see everything that he had to go through to get there. We don't see all of the thousands of no's that he's gotten. And I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I thank God every single day for this gentleman, along with many others, this whole family that we have going on. And to think that by one person saying no, if he would have let go of his dream, none of us would be here right now. Think about it for a second. We wouldn't have this family. We wouldn't have this call. God knows where we would be in life, where we would be in our careers, what we would be doing. We would probably still be living our miserable lives we had before. Okay, low key, we would. Okay, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Caroline's laughing. She knows what I'm talking about. So I want us to take a bigger look at how he is with us. Now, we know that leadership comes with weight. If you want the leadership, it's going to come with a lot of weight. There's going to be a lot of things that you're going to have to go through. There's going to be a lot of things that you're going to have to do, a lot of things that you're going to have to face. But are you ready to face everything that we're asking for? So think about it. If you had to do everything that Mr. Thomas does, would you be able to do it, and would you be able to handle it? Because a lot of us we're in different seasons. And for those of you that listen to Jim Rohn, you know that everything has seasons. The world has seasons, life has seasons, business has seasons. So my question to you today is, which season are you in? And you can think about it and write it down. Are you in winter? Are you in spring? Are you in summer? Or are you in fall? Which season right now are you in your life? And which season are you in your business? Because they're two different things. Even though they're intertwined, they're two different things. So what season are you in? Now, I want you to think about for a second, what season is it here? At least here in the US, majority, it's wintertime, okay? It's super cold in Fresno, and I don't understand, but the leaves are turning pretty colors, and it's really, really nice. But I want you to think about winter for a second. So do you guys think that we've all experienced a winter in our lifetime, in our life and business? Raise your hand. Winter, anyone? Anyone experience winter at all? Okay. So if you think about winter, what do you think about? It's cold. It's besides Christmas, right? It's cold. It's just a gloomy atmosphere. But then when Christmas comes around, it's like lovey-dovey and everything's perfect, right? So I want you to think about winter in our lives for a second. Now, check this out. Does everybody know what this is? This is a lemon. This is a lemon. Everybody say lemon. What? Mr. Thomas has a lemon too? We didn't even plan that. That's awesome. Okay, so do you see? He stays ready. He's always ready. Okay, this is a lemon. Now I want you to picture that you're in a neighborhood, and in your neighbor's yard, there's 2 lemon trees. And on these 2 lemon trees, one has a few lemons, and it's still, you can tell it's still growing and things like that. But the other tree is chock full of lemons. It is full of lemons and it looks so beautiful. This color is beautiful. Imagine that on a tree covered in lemons. Now, if I asked you, you get to pick one of the trees. Which tree would you pick? The one with a few lemons or one with a lot of lemons? Everybody type it in the chat. A lot. Mr. Fetty Sherman's like, a lot of lemons. Yeah. So we would pick the one with a lot of lemons. Why? Why would we pick the one with a lot of lemons? Why not the one that has a few lemons right now, but you can tell it has a lot of buds and it's about to give a lot more lemons? Because that tree that is covered in lemons, we don't have to wait for. All the lemons are already on that tree. So you could literally just go, boop, you just pick your lemon, use it, whatever. You don't have to wait for it. It doesn't require patience. It doesn't require grit, strength, anything, because it's already there and the lemons are already on it. Now, the second tree that didn't have a lot of lemons, little does everybody know, right now, it only has a few lemons. But that lemon tree, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the line is going to have the most lemons than any other tree there. But because we didn't want to wait for it, and because we admired the tree that had so many lemons on it, we picked that tree. So I want you to think about when you look at your business and you compare it to someone that's been in for years. You compare how many lemons or how many reps that tree has compared to how many your tree has. Now understand that lemon tree had to go through so much. How many winters has that lemon tree seen? How many springs, how many summers, how many falls has that lemon tree seen? How many times did it risk getting cut down by somebody that was like, oh, we should just cut it now because it's not going to give us lemons? How many times did that tree have to face problems, but it was still standing and now it's full of lemons and people admire it because it's covered in them? But nobody looks at the tree that's still growing, that has a couple of lemons, it's going to give more, but that requires patience. It requires vision, that you know that tree is going to give you lemons if you just wait. That tree has to grow to where it's able to handle more lemons than it can at that moment. Sometimes people are so busy asking for a tree filled with lemons, or even 10 or 20 or 30 lemons, when our hands can only hold 3 or 5 or 10 lemons. We're so busy comparing our journey and what we have to what other people have. Comparison is the thief of all joy. Do an experiment. Go on your social media, start scrolling. I guarantee you, you will start comparing yourself to everybody else. You will start looking at your life compared to somebody else's highlight, which we've heard before. If you know that right now you might be the second lemon tree that only has a few, that with some time, with some patience, with some strength, once it gets stronger, you're going to have more lemons. You just have to have the patience. So when we're going through the first week, I talked about problems and looking at your problems as opportunities, and what else could you do besides take them as problems, right? Take them as blessings and see what you can learn through it. Instead of asking for the lemons, why not ask for the strength? Why not ask for the strength to strengthen your branches so that you can have more lemons, so that you can hold more lemons without your branches breaking? Think about it. Until we don't manage the little things, we're never going to be given the bigger things. Write that down. Until we can't manage the little things, you won't be given the bigger things. Think about it. This business doesn't come to everyone. So if you've been given that and you've been given a little bit of responsibility to share this opportunity with other people, but we're not taking advantage of that to the max that we could, because we're, oh, it's my side hobby. If you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like hobbies. And do hobbies cost you money or pay you money? They cost you money. Okay. So if we can't handle the little things, how are we supposed to be trusted with bigger things? Every time your mentor or your leader, somebody asks you to do something, it's a test. It's a test. Every time they ask you a question, no matter how casual it is, because I know Mr. Thomas does this with me, and I catch it now, but before I was just like, didn't know. So every time you're asked of something, it's a test. Every time God gives you something little, it's a test. Because if you can't handle something this big, you can't get something this big. If you can't handle 5 lemons, nobody's giving you 20. Nobody's giving you 20. Meaning, if you can't handle 1 rep or 5 reps or 10 reps or 15 reps, nobody's going to give you 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 reps. Does that make sense? Those aren't going to come. So understand, it might be winter right now. You might be going through some things. You might be facing some challenges in your life, in your business, it's a crazy time right now. But understand, the bigger the giants, the bigger the destiny. The bigger the giants, the bigger the destiny. And I want you to think about David and Goliath. For those of you that know that story, just think about it. How big was that giant, but then how big was his destiny? So I want you all to, Ms. Batiste, I love that face that she just made. She's like, oh. Okay. So Mr. Thomas mentioned that I was known as the teacup lady now. Okay. So guess what story I'm going to tell you now? I'm going to tell you the teacup story. Okay. Now, for those of you that still have your teacup on your desk, that's fine. You could look at it, you could hold it, whatever you want to do. But I want to tell you the story. If you want to close your eyes, if you're not driving, you can close your eyes and listen to it. Or if you want to take notes, whatever you want to do. So there was a couple in England that used to go to all these antique shops, all these beautiful shops, all the expensive stuff, everything like that. And the lady, the wife, loved teacups. She loved teacups. And guess what? It was their 25th anniversary. So they went to a shop one day and she saw this beautiful teacup. Beautiful teacup. She told her husband, she said, I want that teacup. So the teacup started speaking to her, kind of like Alice in Wonderland, started speaking to her. And he said, wait, you don't understand. I haven't always been a teacup. And there was a time when I was just a lump of red clay. And then my master took me and he rolled me and patted me all over. And he just molded me. And now I'm this teacup. So he said, let me tell you the story. So the teacup said, one day when I was just a red lump of clay, my master took me and he rolled me and patted me all over. And I yelled, leave me alone. But he smiled and he just said, not yet. So then I was placed on a spinning wheel, the cup said, and I started spinning around and around and around and around. And I said, stop, I'm getting dizzy. I screamed, I'm going to throw up. And the master only nodded and said, not yet. So then he put me in the oven. And I never felt such heat, the teacup said. I wondered when he was going to let me out. Why is he trying to burn me? Why is he trying to hurt me? And I kept knocking at the door and I kept screaming and I kept screaming. And I can see him through the window and he's looking at me and he just nodded his head and I saw his lips say, not yet. And then finally the door opened and he put me up on a shelf. And I said, that's better. He began to cool. And then he saw the master take a paintbrush And he started painting him all over. And the teacup said, I thought I was gonna die because of the fumes. The fumes were so much. I said, why is he trying to poison me? What did I do to you? Why are you trying to poison me? Why are you trying to do this to me? And all he said was, not yet. And just when I thought I was done, he put me back into the oven. And it's not like the first one. This one was super, super, super hot. This one was way hotter than the first one. And I thought I was gonna suffocate. I started begging him for my life. I started pleading, I started screaming, I started crying. And all I could see through the oven window was his lips moving, saying, not yet. And then just when I thought there wasn't any hope, I started to give up. I didn't think I was gonna make it. And right before I was about to give up, he opened the door and he took me out and he placed me on the shelf. And then 1 hour later, he handed me a mirror and he said, look at yourself. Look at yourself. And I did. And I said, that's not me. Who is that? Is this a funny mirror? That's not me. That's not me, because that's so beautiful. That's not me. So he said, I want you to remember, I know that it hurts to be rolled and patted, but if I would have left you alone as a lump of clay, you would have dried up. I know it made you dizzy when I put you on the spinning wheel, but if I would have stopped, you would have crumbled. And I know that it hurt you and it was super hot in the oven and you thought I was trying to burn you, but if I didn't put you in there, you would have started cracking. And I know that the fumes were so bad when I brushed you with that paint all over, but if I hadn't done that, you would have hardened and you would have never had any color in your life. And if I hadn't put you back in the second oven, you wouldn't have survived very long because the hardness wouldn't have held and you would have fell apart. And now you're a finished product and you're exactly what I had in mind when I began. So what season are you in? What phase are you in? Are you being rolled right now? Are you being patted right now? Are you being put into the oven, or did you just come out? Are you being painted right now? Or are you being put into the second oven just when you thought the first one was over? Oh, here comes something else. Oh, you're not done yet. But understand that God knows exactly what he's doing. The universe already knows the plans for you. You already have your destiny. You're just going through it now, and we're figuring it out as we go. You might not always understand everything that's happening. You might not understand why you're being patted. You might not understand why you're being rolled, why you're being put into an oven. Why do these things keep happening to you? You might not know why you don't have as many lemons as the other trees. But instead of comparing, instead of asking for the lemons, instead of asking why me, why this, why that, ask yourself for the strength to get through it. Because look, seasons are going to come to everyone. Things are going to happen to everyone, and they do. There's a lot of people out there right now that need help. And you have the fertilizer they need to have more lemons. You have the mentor that can help them become a teacup. We have so much. We have so much. We're just in different seasons. So I want you to know that you are being molded right now into who you are meant to be. You might not understand it. There might be a lot going on right now, but just know that you're exactly where you need to be at this moment. You are a masterpiece. You were wonderfully and fearfully made. You are a masterpiece. And it's time that you start realizing it. Because you are not perfect, but you're a limited edition. So with that, Mr. Thomas, thank you so much. And I'll hand the call back over to you.
I don't know how many pages of notes you guys got. All I'm going to say is, don't ever forget the teacup story. You are a masterpiece. Mr. Dale Ranson, you're a masterpiece. Mr. Brian Baker, you're a masterpiece. Miss Kimberly, you're a masterpiece. Miss Castro, you are a masterpiece. Mr. Frank and Patricia, you're masterpieces. Miss Hayes, you're a masterpiece. Sam Foster, you're definitely a masterpiece. Al Randolph, you're a masterpiece. Miss Diane Collins, you're uniquely made. Miss Rose Guerrero, you are definitely uniquely made. Wow. Mr. Ismail, you're definitely uniquely made. Mr. Chris Keene, definitely uniquely made. Miss Candy Epperly, definitely uniquely made. Look, Miss Luana, you are a teacup. Miss Joyce Brewer, you are a teacup. Dave Culver, the professor, you are a teacup. Miss Eileen, a teacup. Look, every one of you are uniquely made. Do you know the numbers on your head are numbered? And oh my God. What a way to start off Monday. Man, if that didn't hit home, if that did not hit you, if did that not open you up, then you need to check up from the neck up, because that was so powerful. There's nothing more to be said. Please, folks, take this to heart. We got less than 45 days or so. You're meant to be and do great things. Can we show Miss Natasha Ismail some love? Can we show her how uniquely this conversation was? And all of you, thank you for my report card on Saturday. Only leaders show up on Saturdays. That's all I'm gonna say. If you miss Saturday, you just, anyway, thank you so much. Miss Natasha Ismail, thank you so much. I know your hubby is trying to get things situated. He's watching as well. I always thank him because he's such a gentleman and a scholar. Folks, tomorrow morning, tonight at 6 o'clock, come on back tonight with your list to make some phone calls. It's only 1 hour. What that little black book say, can you not watch with me for 1 hour? 1 hour to make phone calls to help you grow your business through this holiday. And tomorrow morning, we got the great Mr. Julian Lewis, as you know, which is going to be another profound message, I'm sure. Then tomorrow night, we'll be doing the 1 through 10. On Wednesday, we'll be back with Mr. Dwight Williams. And Wednesday night, Miss Ismail will be with us. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Man, one more time, can we give the teacup lady? I'm trying to put a smile on my face, and my eyes are all getting all watery over here because that was so profound. If that did not pierce your heart, then I'm sorry. That was just so profound. Thank you, dear. What a wonderful job. Mr. Herbert, look, you can do it. TJ, I expect a lot out of you. Miss Caroline Baker, you can do it in a big way. Come on, Ed Navarro, you're a teacup. You're so close to art, to RD, I can taste it. Come on, let's close it out, my friend. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Miss Celia, come on, you can do it. Miss Eileen, you're a superstar. Miss Sensational, thank you so much for being out in Florida. Miss Castro, you know I love you. You're a great lady and a great team player and just a great mom and a great wife to your husband and your family. So thank you all. I just want to let you guys know you guys are meant for greatness, and this is the time to let it come out of you. And with that said, I'll see everybody tonight at 6 o'clock p.m. We'll be on our call, making calls. Come on back. We're going to see you. We want to see your face and your list. So let's make some calls to make it happen. If you're a leader, you should definitely be on here for your organization. Thank you so much. Take care, Ms. Johnson Driscoll. We thank you, dear. God bless you for all you're doing. Can't wait for that book to come out because I want an autographed copy of it. God bless everybody. See everybody tonight. Be safe. Let's get after it. It's a Monday going into the holidays. God bless. Bye-bye.